NXT took place live last night from its home at Full Sail University. And on commentary, you had Nigel McGuinness, Beth Phoenix, and the return of Mauro Ranallo, which was great to see Mauro back. Corey Graves is a dick. He's a dick face for tweeting that. Now, some people will say, well, Mauro's a snowflake. Look, I would say you're a snowflake if you do not have mental illness. Mauro Ranallo is someone who has severe bipolar. Watch the bipolar rock and roller. If Corey Graves did not watch the bipolar rock and roller and tweeted this, it'd be one thing. But he could have seen it. If he saw it and still tweeted this, what a piece of shit. Look, the guy has bipolar. You have to understand, that's how it works. Okay? Now, someone being a baby who can't handle some criticism, that's different. When someone's diagnosed, yeah, there's a difference. Okay, guys? Okay. So we start the show off. Killian Dane comes out, and he says he will not leave the ring until someone comes out. And Pete Dunne comes out, and finally we got Pete Dunne against Killian Dane in the singles match. They've had a triple threat match with Damian Priest involved, but now you get the big singles match. It was a very entertaining match. I enjoyed it a lot. They went back and forth. They looked like for sure Dunne was going to win. I was surprised. I don't think they're going to beat Dunne. But they had some kickouts. There were some interesting parts in the match. At the end of the match was a big surprise to me. So Killian Dane goes like for a Vader bomb on the turnbuckle, but Pete Dunne stops him, and Dunne goes to the top turnbuckles, but Dane hits him with forearms. Then Dunne elbows Dane, and he tries to apply a sleeper hold on the top rope, which was cool, but then all of a sudden Killian Dane falls back with all his body weight, and he crushes Pete Dunne, and he lays on top of Pete Dunne backwards, and 1, 2, 3, Killian Dane with the win. Big surprise here, but he beats Pete Dunne. It was a shock. I really enjoyed the match, though. Backstage, we see Kathy Kelly interviewing Dakota Kai. Kathy asks Dakota if she has anything to say to Rhea Ripley. Dakota says Tegan is not worth her time. How dense could Rhea be? She gave her what she wanted. Rhea wants to play the hero and server. Tonight, she takes Rhea out, just like she did it to her pal, Mia Yim. I should call her a hood rat, Mia Yim. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, it's confirmed that it was Dakota Kai who attacked Mia Yim. That's what I thought. Up next, the Undisputed Era comes out. We have Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong come out. So I don't know what's up with Bobby Fish, but he's going to be out for a while and not good for him. But 3 of the 4 members are out, and Adam says it was the November to remember for the Undisputed Era. When they had a big November for sure, they were on Raw and they were on SmackDown, and they won on Survivor Series. Cole and Strong did, but Fish and O'Reilly lost. But they did lose that TakeOver, even though they had an insane match, and Cole almost died from that spot with Ciampa. But he's pissed off. He deserves more respect as NXT champion. After all the obstacles they overcome, Finn decides to kick him in the face. And we need answers, and we're not going to leave the ring until we get them. So they're mad at what happened last week with Finn. Keith Lee comes out, and he talks about how he challenges the Undisputed Era. He is pissed off at what happened, and he's cutting a promo on them, and he says he's deciding which of the championship belts he will choose first. Adam tells Keith why not make it right here, right now, and then all of a sudden they get into a fight, and Adam Cole and Keith Lee brawl. It's a fight, and with the Undisputed Era, and all of a sudden Tommaso Ciampa comes out, and he picks up Goldie, which was cool. He just takes Goldie, and he gets his title back. Zia Lee is in the back, and she cuts a promo on Shayna Baszler, how she's a bully. Not a very good promo. I know why they push Zia, because they went against the big China market, but not a huge promo there. We're back in Kushida. He is out, and he talks about how he broke his wrist against Walter in his biggest match in NXT, and he was told he'd be out for 2 months. He spent 2 months with his family, and he claimed he's doing better now, and he is back. Up next, he had Shayna Baszler against Zia Lee. A decent matchup here. Baszler, I'm not a fan of at all. I think her style's boring. I know what they're trying to do. Just the thing with me, I'm an MMA fan, so I just can never take Baszler seriously because she was never that good. I watched a lot of her fights. I watched her back to her Strikeforce days. She was decent. She beat some fighters, but she shouldn't be pushed like this. I don't understand why she's getting this Ronda Rousey style push. I mean, Ronda herself, as a fighter, she was good, but I mean, she was one of the biggest stars in UFC history, the second biggest star they've ever had behind Conor McGregor. Baszler, not even a star at all. I mean, no one remember. She never headlined anything. It's just, I don't agree with her push. Anyway, she had an okay match. Zia Lee taps out to the Crafita cuts, so Baszler with the win. After the match, we go backstage and Cassius Ohno was shown earlier today. Yeah, I hate seeing Cassius Ohno. He cuts a promo. I just wish this fat guy would leave. Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake are out for Gone Sons with Jason Reichert against Adrian Alanis and Leon Ruff. Quick squash match, Cutler and Blake with the win. After the match, he chokes, I think it was Reichert, he chokes him Ruff onto the apron from the ring, which was pretty cool. Backstage, he showed Rhea Ripley getting ready for a big match with Dakota Kai tonight. And Rhea Ripley's become a star on NXT, on the US brand. She's really gotten over. I want to see Toni Storm, though. I need to see her and Rhea reignite her feud. But she is backstage, and then Mia Yim walks into Dakota Kai, and the funny thing, Rhea Ripley says, it was cool the way you set things up at War Games, but you're being set up right now. And then Mia Yim, she's there, and she goes after Dakota Kai. Both of them go after her. Mia punches her. Both of them are going right at Kai, and Dakota Kai falls to the ground. Rhea Ripley sends Dakota back into the ring, and what they do is Dakota Kai tries to fight back, but Mia Yim is going after her. Mia is kicking Dakota Kai's ass in the ring. Kai goes to the floor, and Mia follows after her, and then what they do is they set this kind of cool. The way they set up into one segment going into another. So first, it's Mia Yim and Dakota Kai. Mia Yim's all over her, and then all of a sudden, they go from one story, which is Mia and Dakota, to another woman's story, which is Shayna and Rhea. And Shayna comes from behind. Rhea Ripley has to fight Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. She fights them off, but Shayna has the submission, the Kofita clutch. Ripley gets out once, but then she gets it again. And what they do is she's on the ring ropes with the submission, and they have Duke and what's her name, Shafir, grab Ripley's arm, so like that chokes out Rhea Ripley, and that's how they did it. So Shayna leaves Rhea laying after Rhea's had her number, and that sets up the big match on December 18th. Big women's title match. Man, I'm looking forward to that. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Keith Lee and Tommaso Ciampa. She mentions the main event will be a 6-man tag. Ciampa says their partners, Donovan Dijakovic. So that's there against Ciampa, Dijakovic, and Lee. Almost a repeat of the War Games that we saw a couple weeks ago. They show a video featuring Finn Balor. It was all right. He wants Adam Cole next. They show an Isaiah Scott video package. XC of Cassius Ohno against Matt Riddle. I mean, who's going to win this? Of course. Matt Riddle gets the win. He hits the Broderick. That's his finisher for the 3 count. Riddle gets the decent win. We'll see what they do more with him. But, Keith Lee's, Cassius Ohno, I wish would just leave. He's fat. I don't want to see him anymore. We're back, and they show what happened with Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler. They're setting that up big. So I don't know what they're going to do. They could go with Rhea, but I assume they're probably going to keep it on Shayna. Kushida against Raul Mendoza. This is basically what happens is Cameron Grimes comes out, and he beats down Mendoza, and then he wants to fight Kushida. So it's Kushida against Cameron Grimes. This is okay. Kushida is very good, obviously. He's one of the best in the world. They have a good matchup here, but it was quick. Cameron Grimes had a form, but Kushida gets a roll up for the 3 count, so they give the win to Kushida. And they'll push him after this. They go with the video package for the Angel Garza Leo Rush feud. I don't think I really care that much. I've just never been a huge fan of the Cruiserweight division. You have the NXT Cruiserweight title. Next week you have Angel Garza fighting against Leo Rush. And then they announce it's Mia Yim and Dakota Kai next week. So I assume Dakota wins. I think Leo retains. It could go with Angel Garza though. You know what? Maybe they go with Angel. Why not? I'd go with him. Leo is just not a good babyface. So main event, you have a 6-man tag, almost a repeat of War Games. You minus the cage, you minus One Ring, you minus Bobby Fish, and you minus Kevin Owens. So you have Dominic Dijakovic, Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa against Adam Cole, baby, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Good main event, always good. You have a lot of good wrestlers here. It was a good matchup here. I thought this show was better than AEW again, so it's not surprising. At the end of the match, you have Finn Balor come out. He hits a running dropkick to Adam Cole, and he goes after him. And then he hits the 1916 to Ciampa, so he takes out the 2 challengers. I assume they're going to a triple threat match. I can't be at Portland because that's too long away. I wish they'd just do it at the Royal Rumble. Like, who cares if it's outside? Just do it at the Rumble. Anyway, they're not. Anyway, Cole hits a super kick to Keith Lee, but Keith Lee hits a Death Valley driver and to the jackhammer. That's his finisher. 1, 2, 3. Keith Lee gets the win. After the match, as Ciampa, Lee, and Dijakovic win, William Regal comes on and says, on December 18th, Adam Cole will defend his NXT championship. We will find out his opponent next week, and it's going to be Tommaso Ciampa against Keith Lee, against Finn Balor in a triple threat match. Winner faces Adam Cole. So it's like December 18th. That's like a takeover. You're going to have Adam Cole against Balor, Ciampa, or Lee, and you're going to have Baszler and Ripley. It's almost like a pay-per-view takeover event. I wish they just call it a takeover show. It practically is, to be honest. But that's a huge show, and man, AEW has a tough man. I think NXT is really kicking AEW's ass. The shows are way better right now. I'm looking forward to that show in 2 weeks. Hey, we have another show in between on the week before, so man, NXT is really kicking ass, and they're a very good show, and I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to that show in 2 weeks.